Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to the Embrace Nerd channel. If you had not seen the previous video, we had talked and gave a shout out to the new comic called Isom. Isom number 1. There's a new campaign that is started by Eric July. Some know him as Young Rippa. And he has made a comic company called the Rippaverse. And their total revenue at this moment is $2,501,355.41. Now, if you're interested in checking this book out, I'll put a link down in the description down below. If you're interested in hearing more about this video, you can definitely check out the previous video I did before this one that kind of gets into it. But this is more about my hopes for what Rippa does in the future and how he continues to market his book. So, this is not intended to give Eric July any advice. I know he's probably doing some of the things I'm even going to say. This is just my personal hopes of what I hope to see him do in the continued future. So, the first thing I hope that he continues to do is, and this is kind of outside of him, but he's gotten a lot of hate from people, people jealous of him. And honestly, that hatred and that jealousy is just making normal people want to check out this book. That has nothing to do with him. That deals with other people's hate. But, guess what? If you can continue to get revenue from people hating on you, then you know what? To me, that might be the best the best way you can handle that and let the haters hate, I guess. And so I hope he continues to do what he's been doing with that, handling that. I think he's been handling that pretty professionally. And so I hope he continues to do that and just encourage people. No matter if they hate him, hey, come check out the book. You're easily able to buy it. The next thing I really hope he does is I hope that he sets himself up to start doing interviews, because right now he has a story. Not only does he have a story as far as the actual story that he wrote and he wants people to check out, but he also has a story as far as not just his revenue, but of course the attacks he's been getting. This is, even though the book itself isn't political, the attacks he's getting, the fact that people can't even talk about his book on Reddit, that is a political situation that, he's been shoved onto him that can still elevate him and elevate his book if he goes and talks to the right people. So I really hope this is changing culture. This is a news story. This is a true news story. And so I hope he goes and does interviews with people, long-form interviews with people, not just be able to talk about politics or philosophy or whatever, but to really purposely talk about this comic book. Glenn Beck does a full show or a full interview. I hope he goes on Glenn Beck's show, but I hope he does an interview with Glenn Beck. He has a relationship with the Blaze. I think he could probably make that happen if possible. I think that'd be really, really cool to see, because it would be reaching out to people that definitely haven't been reading a comic for a long time that would probably be interested in something like this. So I hope he does that. I hope he reaches out to the Daily Wire. I know he's done some stuff with Michael Knowles before, talking about comics and talking about the comic industry. So I hope he does that. And really anybody else that would talk to him, I know he's going to be really busy doing all these books and stuff, but I think having that opportunity, honestly, would be really, really cool. And not just political people. There's different people like Thinking Critical, who's a comic channel, a few of these other ones. I think it's like Comic with Tom, maybe. Jim Mint, Collectibles. There's a few other people. Comic Storian, Comics Explained. I hope those guys, especially even if they may not have the same politics, I hope they put those politics aside and will be willing to talk to Eric July, hear him out, hear him about his comic book, and open up new horizons for him. I think it'd be really cool, and hopefully those guys are cool enough to do that as well. Now, those are just some of the simple things I hope he does, but one of the things I hope he does, and then specifically with the next campaign, I know they're going to be selling some more merch stuff. One thing, I hope they do a figure. I want a figure, okay? So if Rippa sees this, I want a figure, okay? Give me like a 7-incher, okay? Give me a cool figure that I can replace some of these guys with, and I'll be happy. So try to do that for me, okay? For your next campaign. Secondly, they have, I'm trying to scroll down to it. They have these cards. Now, I'm going to try to get them. I don't know, because I, don't necessarily want to spend $100, but I get why they're $100. They're really well made. They're big. They're like, they're 5 inches by 6 by 9 inches. They're pretty big cards. They're really well made. I totally get why they cost that much. Totally understand. But, I'm a cheap son of a gun. But less about that. I want to be able to put it in my binder with some of the other cards I have. So if the next campaign, I know it's going to be cheaper and all this other stuff, and I know the reason you did it was for to have the best quality. I respect it. I get it. Totally get it. I want a smaller card. Okay? So if you can give me a smaller card, I will buy that sucker. Okay? I want it. If you give it to me, I will buy it. I'll be super happy. So that is something I'm definitely hoping he does. The next thing I hope he does. This will be my only current critique, and it's not even a critique because I totally understand why it is what it is. A lot of people may look and say a 96-page comic is too expensive. And what I would tell them is he is making this product in America. He ain't getting this from China. He is printing this from America, which with really good quality paper, which is going to elevate the price of the book. Totally get it. Totally understand it. But the two things I hope happens. One, I do hope that as more people buy and he has an expectation for a certain amount of people, he needs to be wise with that. You don't want to go too far and then have too many books. But I do hope that he accounts for that in the next campaign. And that maybe the more he prints, I don't know if that can cause the price to go down, but hopefully it does. Because the reason that could be a concern is how many books are you selling in each campaign, right? We got one book for this campaign, but the next campaign, we may have 3 books. Now, I think 3 books is perfect. I think 3 books, even if it's at $35, especially if it's going to be a 75-day window. If it's a 75-day window and it's, 3 books, the peasants like me, we can, we save our money. I'm saving money to get married, stuff like that. But I can put money on the side, and I can get all 3 of those books throughout that month. Now, I may not get that cover A, cover B, but you know what? Even if I get the cover C on some of those books, I'm cool with it. I just want to make that something we can realistically do. If you start selling, 4, 5, 6 books during a campaign, especially if they're at $35, it might get a little difficult for some people. So, for his next campaign, especially if the price is at $35, I hope he keeps it at 3 books. Because, all the rich people, they're going to be buying all the variants, all that stuff. But, I'm a common man. So help me out here, Rippa, if you don't mind. But anyway, guys, that's kind of all my hopes right now because I haven't read the story. Once I read the story, we will do a video on some of my thoughts on it, some expectations, some hopes for the story to continue, some of my theories. If you like this video and you tell me you like it, maybe we'll do some reactions to his actual campaign videos and we'll talk about it as well. But anyway, guys, if it's day or night, I hope you have a good one. Peace.